please, don't try anything that you're about to see us do at home.
Ever.
On this episode of MythBusters, Adam and Jamie dial in on a fabulous fable about 2 phone books. Interleaving their pages apparently makes them impossible to pull apart.
We will need to bring some more power.
Who's the boss now?
And then, Cary Grant and Tori test a Hollywood Big Bang Theory.
He's gaining on us!
Can you blow up a shark with black powder, a harpoon gun, and a boat battery? Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage.
Goodbye, my little friend.
And Jamie Heineman.
Is that beautiful or what?
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
Cue dramatic music.
Joining them, Carrie Byron.
Criminals beware the mark of MythBusters.
Grant Imahara.
Let's eat.
And Tori Belleci.
Call me the cougar.
They don't just tell the myths,
Mr. Heineman, you are go for launch.
they put them to the test.
What's this? A new suggestion?
Yeah, these guys have really outdone themselves, man. They have filmed an entire MythBusters segment themselves in order to give us a story idea.
What's the myth?
Well, they're claiming that if you take 2 phone books and interleave their pages, one by one by one, that those 2 phone books absolutely cannot be separated.
That's right down our alley. I think we should take that on.
I totally agree.
Yep, not only did our intrepid Dutch duo, Tim and Steve, create this crazy spoof, they put forward the intriguing-sounding myth that 2 phone books with their pages interleaved are impossible to rent asunder. But could the alternating pages of a phone book that haven't been glued, taped, or bound really stick together under any circumstances?
It's pretty clear where we have to start.
I agree. You know, in their testing, the clamp with which they held their phone books eventually failed, and they stopped testing there.
Well, that's a problem we'll have to solve then.
I agree. But first, let's get interleaving.
In true MythBuster style, the phone book fable is going to get ramped, ripped, and revved up until the boys get answers. But before the envelope pushing begins, let's take you back to the beginning.
The very first thing we have to do is interlace these things. Like this. I think it's going to be a little harder than that.
Long and tedious task ahead? Cue our editor's favorite solution, the time lapse.
You ready to interleave some of these phone books?
Yep.
All right.
With the 2 phone books secured, Adam and Jamie
We've just passed 500 pages total.
We're cruising.
simply take turns flipping pages, pausing only when they get to M for Mafia.
Does this remind you of when you used to count money for the mob?
I was a hitman. I wasn't a money counter.
Almost there.
And with all 800 pages of each book interleaved, the guys begin to get a grip on the science of this myth.
I can't believe there's nothing holding those 2 things together but friction.
It's really quite amazing. I mean, when you tug on these, it's like they're glued together, but they're not. It can only be the friction of each page where it contacts the next one, and times 1,000 or so, it adds up to a lot.
What I've got here is a lesson in friction. While this might look like 2 800-page phone books, Jamie and I have interleaved them. Or for you magic aficionados, we've done a Pharaoh shuffle. And apparently, almost nothing will rent these 2 things asunder. And we're going to see if that's true.
In an attempt to handle the truth, Adam and Jamie are focusing on friction. Friction can be defined as the force resisting the relative motion of 2 surfaces. For example, the pages of a phone book. Static friction is the force keeping 2 stationary objects from moving. And kinetic friction occurs when 2 objects that are already moving rub up against each other. That's the theory on what's holding the books together. To help pull them apart, the guys rigged 2 plywood handles along the book's spines. But neither these nor the tape you can see will interfere with the experiment.
All right. You want to do some tug of war?
Okay.
Well, no, Jamie and I are about to have a tug of war. And we are going to try and pull the phone book apart. But of course, I think we're also going to try and pull each other across the shop. I think it's actually probably a pretty even game. We weigh about the same. Jamie may be a little bit stronger than me, but I fight dirty.
It's been a while since Adam
Check out my guns!
and Jamie have gone head-to-head. But it's a grand old MythBusters tradition that underhand tactics,
I've still got a couple of tricks on my sleeve.
bending, and then breaking the rules are all part of the fun. Until someone loses. There'll be no cheating here. It's a straight tug of war. A matching of muscle, mano y mano.
I'm gonna run out of room here real quick, so.
Maybe you won't run out of room so quick.
Of course, aside from pride and sensitive egos, what's really on the line is the myth. Will the phone book pages stand up to our macho men?
You ready?
There we go.
First to cross the line loses.
Oh, I believe I'm winning.
Equally matched in weight, traction was the ultimate decider in this test. And with no time to substitute a hydraulically powered robot, Jamie has to take his medicine. But more importantly, despite being fueled by the red-hot fires of competition,
Good job. The phone book's still together, though.
Adam and Jamie failed to make an impression on the phone books.
Although I may have had better traction on my shoes than Jamie, I'd say it's Adam and Jamie 0, phone book 1. This puppy didn't creak, didn't move, didn't budge. We're gonna need some more help.
Before the help arrives, there's time for a little gloating.
Dude, this is like a professional wrestling trophy belt, right? I'm gonna wear this around like, check it out, Heineman! Who's the boss now?
Later,
You ready to fight the Spartans?
the MythBusters team up on their quest to test the phone book friction fable.
1, 2, 3!
But next,
Ready.
Bright Sparks, Carrie, Grant, and Tori harpoon the black powder shark. Next up, break out the popcorn, because Carrie, Grant, and Tori catch a movie.
Ah, so we're doing another movie myth? Which one is it?
The cult classic, Deep Blue Sea.
Yes! Genetically altered man-eating sharks!
Tell me we're testing to see when they blow the shark up.
We're testing to see where they blow the shark up.
Yes!
But there's a twist. They don't have any weapons on hand, so they MacGyver it. Check this out.
Yep, in this scene from the silver screen, the survivors of some mutant shark mayhem are desperate to finish the fish. So they turn to a harpoon gun, flares, and an electric charge.
We ought to get about 2.5 sticks of dynamite out of these flares.
The question is, could this MacGyver-style combo really equal a big boom?
From up here, you ought to be able to see me spirit. When I do, you take this end of this cable, hook it up to the positive side of the boat battery, and boom.
So they have 2.5 sticks of dynamite's worth of black powder from the flares, and it looks like he's gonna make a pipe bomb from the cylinder attached to the harpoon.
But how are they gonna ignite the black powder?
It looks like he's gonna just attach that metal cable to a battery, and that's supposed to set it off.
No way!
Way, because that's exactly what happens after upping the jeopardy by pinning his friend to the shark.
Now what's he gonna do? I mean, if he kills the shark, he can potentially kill his friend. But if he doesn't kill the shark can get away. Now he's in a dilemma. Kill the shark, kill the friend, let the shark get away. What's he gonna do?
He opts for the heroic sacrifice, of course. But our harpoon-toting hero hesitates, perhaps fatally, because the genetically enhanced super shark makes for the hole in the fence he'd prepared earlier.
Oh wait, the hero's free.
There's a spark!
Wait a minute.
2.5 sticks of dynamite?
Tower of water, blood, and fire. Awesome.
That is a pretty crazy scene, and there's a lot of elements to test.
Okay, let's break it down. First of all, we need to find out if you can ignite black powder with a car battery like they did in the movie.
And we need to see if an improvised harpoon gun like that can go that distance and still be accurate.
And then we need to find out more about these flares. I mean, do they even contain black powder? And if so, do they have enough to make the mythical 2.5 sticks of dynamite?
And can that amount of black powder make the massive explosion that we saw?
And the guy survived.
Well, we definitely need to test that.
Okay, that's 5 things to test for one scene. That's gotta be a record.
It's the Deep Blue Sea Quintet of Myths with 5 separate testable elements. It's something to get your teeth into. But hold the phone, because Tori's starting this myth by making a mark of a shark.
I start off with a big block of foam. I put an outline on the profile and then a top view, mark that out with spray paint, cut that out with hot wires. From there, I went and took the foam cutting machine and shaped it down to more shark-like.
Nicknamed Hugo because he's, huge, he's a little cuddlier than his movie counterpart. And talking of the movie,
Now, while Tori finishes up Hugo, Grant and I are going to start testing the first part of this myth, which is the ignition system. Can you ignite black powder with a battery and a wire?
that's the burning question. And some jump cuts later, they're all set to put the movie scene to the test.
Okay, so here's the setup. We have a tank filled with salt water. Inside of the tank is an airtight metal canister. Inside of that is black powder. Now that's connected, just like in the movie, through a steel cable. Steel cable leads back to a 12-volt marine battery. Then the other half of the circuit, by a jumper cable, leads all the way back to the tank, and hopefully completing the circuit, and ba-boom.
So just like the movie, the metal cable runs from the black powder canister back to the battery. And the only feasible way of completing the circuit Creating the all-important spark, or heat, is through the salty seawater. But Grant isn't exactly convinced.
I don't think it's going to go ba-boom, because you have a conduction path through the salt water. And I just don't think voltage is high enough to get that amount of heat to ignite the black powder. I guess we're going to find out.
Even though Grant's got his doubts, the team still follows the MythBusters safety mantra. When using explosives, duck!
Ready?
It's the same ignition system as movie. In 3, 2, 1.
Nothing. A whole lot of nothing.
I think that by now our hero has been swallowed and digested.
I just don't think there's a good enough conduction path to generate the heat you need to set off the black powder.
Not a very good start to the myth.
No.
Yet, film physics have once again proved false, and part 1 of the test quintet has bombed. But with Tori's finished shark now foaming at the mouth, there's still 4 more parts to reel in. And down at the bomb range, it's time to take a shot at myth part 2, the harpoon.
What the heck? Whoa! Look at that. What I have right here is the actual prop from the movie Deep Blue Sea. Now, I know it looks like a harpoon gun, but it's actually a line thrower that they've modified. They've added this tip and this cylinder. Now, since they've modified it, we're not going to be able to use this anymore. But we have this, a real working harpoon gun. And this is what we're going to use to test, to fire our harpoons into our shark to see if a harpoon will even go that far.
And how far is far? Well, the range in the movie looked about to 100 feet.
Man, that's far.
But before Tori takes aim and fires, here's some Harpoon 101.
A harpoon gun is very similar to a rifle, but instead of a bullet, we're using a .38 special blank. Now, the blank, once fired, will create enough pressure to launch our harpoon, which is sleeved on the outside of the barrel, unlike a rifle where the bullet is inside the barrel. And this will hopefully launch our harpoon to our target. All right, we're ready to fire. We're loaded in 3, 2, 1. You hit him exactly where the guy hit him in the movie. I think I might have pinned his arm to the shark. Looks like we've confirmed this part of the myth. You can shoot a harpoon over 100 feet and still hit your target. And we pinned the dude to the shark. It's like double confirmed. I love this.
Meaning part 2 of the myth gets the thumbs up. Next on MythBusters.
Oh, they're beating us, you pansies!
Adam and Jamie put the test in testosterone. Adam and Jamie are muscling up to test the tall tale of interlaced phone books that are impossible to pull apart.
This experiment is one of those things that is totally counterintuitive because, you know, it's just a couple of phone books interleaved together. There's no glue, there's no tape, there's no screws. They're just sitting there, those phone book pages, and we should be able to pull them apart quite easily, but somehow I don't think so.
If you don't believe Jamie, here's a sentence you don't often hear on MythBusters. This is one you can try at home. And while you're at it, here's something else you can try at home with phone books. The tall tale that it takes a strong man to tear a phone book in half.
As long as we've got all these phone books around, I thought this is an opportunity to learn how to rip a phone book.
And Adam's tricky technique is this. Bend the book into a V separating the pages. And that means you tear one page at a time and not all 800. Simple.
This is like a sickness. It's like an addiction. I gotta rip up another one. Oh, yeah.
But the problem with addictive highs are the inevitable subsequent lows.
I know I'm a MythBuster, but I'm a little sad to find out that the trick is so easy.
And Adam knows the only way to cheer himself up is to beat, or could that be Cheat Jamie in a contest.
Jamie, come here. Got a challenge for you. Ready?
Okay.
Can you do that?
I don't know. Let's see. I've never done this before.
After seeing Jamie struggle for a few minutes, Adam adds the ultimate insult by offering to help.
Here, I'll make it easy for you.
Okay.
Start from the other side. Take it, bend it all the way like this, and you're kind of spreading out all the pages and tearing them one at a time. That's the trick, and it should tear open. Come on, you're stronger than me. What, you gonna let me show you up on television?
You want to get whacked in the head with a phone book?
It's a fun trick to know. I think we should practice.
You go right ahead.
Okay. I became pretty good at tearing phone books during this episode. In fact, we shot so much material that we couldn't fit it all into the broadcast show. So, we put some up on the web for you. Log on to discovery.com/MythBusters and see what you've been missing.
We weren't able to pull the phone books apart. That tells us something, but not specifically how strong they are. So we're going to test them with a scale.
Yep, this scale will measure exactly how much tug
Ready when you are.
the phone books are being subjected to.
All right, how much? What do we get to?
Not bad.
320 pounds.
320 pounds sounds significant, but what we need is a little perspective.
To put that amount of force in perspective, it's the weight of your average linebacker.
Impressive. But what's next?
Let's get everyone in the building on this.
Okay.
Yep, it's time to number up.
Ready to fight the Spartans?
With 9 muscled MythBusters and Adam split into 2 teams of 5,
1, 2, 3. Like that.
we're about to see exactly what these phone books are made of.
Lands! Oh, they're beating us, you bastards!
Okay.
So far, it's phone books 1, everybody else 0. 5 people on 5 people tug of war, generating almost 2,100 pounds of force, the weight of a small car, and the phone books are steadfast in refusing to be separated.
Which leaves one final manpower option. All 10 MythBusters in one mighty team. Push.
Lunge! All right, what do we get? We got up to 4,000 pounds. You guys called it up. You called up the beast. And it didn't do anything.
Come on, guys, do I have to keep asking? 4,000 pounds is...
About the weight of a full-size pickup truck. And still, we weren't able to separate the phone books.
We gave everything to this phone book. It looked right back at our face and said, "Puh, is that all you've got? We will need to bring some more power."
Coming up, Cary, Grant, and Tori boogie at the bomb range and prepare to blow Hugo.
Fire!
Then Adam and Janie
I'm ready. Are you ready?
drag race the phone book fable to the next level.
Please, don't try anything you're about to see us do at home. Ever.
So far, in their quintet of chaos, it's 1 part busted, 1 confirmed. So what's next? In the movie, they casually crack open a box of 10 flares to harness so much gunpowder that...
We gotta get about 2.5 sticks of dynamite in these flares.
But how much black powder is there in a flare? To find out, Grant, and not Tori for obvious reasons, is going to very carefully cut open some flares.
In order to protect myself, I'll be wearing the fire suit. That's in case the black powder ignites. All right, remember, catch on fire. Stop, drop, and roll.
What's clear immediately is that opening a cartridge flare isn't quite as easy as the movie made out. In fact, it takes a full 12 minutes for Grant to crack it.
Okay, I think I'm through.
With the dangerous part over, Grant measures the amount of black powder, and it's pitiful.
These are exactly the same type of flares they used in the movie. However, the big difference is that there's only 1.5 grams of black powder in here. It's not like the guy did.
Yep, the numbers just don't add up. The mythical 2.5 sticks of dynamite is about 450 flares worth, not the 10 they harvest in the movie. And that means number 3 hits the busted bin.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Well, I think it's time we blow stuff up.
I think we're gonna need 3 booms.
The more the better.
1, using the amount of black powder they could physically contain in the canister used in the movie.
Then another one, using the 2.5 sticks of dynamite they mentioned in the dialogue.
And if that doesn't get us the same kind of explosion we see in the movie, I say we do whatever it takes.
So with Hugo in tow, the team hit the road. Their destination? The secret backcountry quarry, where they had their last TNT party.
You guys ready to blow up a mutant shark and save the world? You bet. We're back at the quarry lake. This time, we're gonna blow up a shark, and we're gonna show a few different things. We're gonna show, 1, is the bomb he made in the movie gonna make that big of an explosion? 2, is it enough to kill a shark? There should be enough black powder in this flare to give us 2.5 sticks of dynamite. And 3, if you're in the water and you're that close to the explosion, are you gonna survive? This is gonna be a great day! Except, we're gonna destroy Hugo.
Yep, Hugo will be going out with a bang. But first, it's this fish's last swim.
He's gaining on us! He's going for Cary! He likes the girl!
That's a great idea. How you getting back on the boat?
I haven't thought about that yet.
Next, Hugo gets that sinking feeling as the team weighs him down, positioning him 10 feet under, about the same depth as the shark in the movie.
He's going.
Oh, that was sick!
In the water, the shark looks even more menacing, but the shockwave from the blast could be our hero's biggest concern.
Now, to find out if our hero is going to actually survive this crazy blast, we have this. Now, this rig was created by New Mexico Tech. They have installed Osico pressure discs. Now, at 500 psi, these things will burst. 500 psi is certain death for the hero. So we're going to be able to find out from 15-foot increments how far away our hero has to be from the blast to be able to survive.
New Mexico Tech is a world leader in explosion technology, and these custom-made rigs and Osico rupture discs are the perfect addition to this test.
So let's go in easy.
So 50 feet from Hugo, the first rupture rig is delicately placed in the water.
All right, the buoys work.
One down.
50 feet represents the distance from the shark that the hero was at the time of the explosion. But to cover all bases, the team positions rupture rigs at 100, 150, and 200 feet away. It's been a monumental effort, and finally everything's ready for some shark obliteration.
Sharks in position, all the rupture discs are in position in 50-foot increments.
All we need to do now is strap some explosives to that shark and blow him up.
Frank!
Adam and Janie are focusing on the phone book Friction Fable, and the ramping up has already begun.
Dude, this thing is a behemoth. What are we going to pull it with now?
Rental cars. We said we were going to ramp it up, so we have. We've got 2 sedans. They're about 140 horsepower each. We're going to see if we can rip those phone books apart.
Yep, manpower didn't do it for them. So it's on to horsepower and a whole heap of horsing around.
I love full insurance!
It's a simple plan using the same 2 books that withstood the war of tugs.
I lassoed myself.
Adam and Janie are going to drive in opposite directions. And the only thing that could prevent them from driving off into a dusty sunset